Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because today is finally part 2 of my anti-food waste recipe series, and I'm super excited to show you these 4 recipes that I absolutely love. I have made this video before, I mean not the exact same video, but I've made a video about anti-food waste recipes before, and if you want to check that out you can find the link down below, or after this video there will be a link as well. The reason why I decided to make this series is because there's so much food that we throw away that we don't have to. But throughout the different steps of the supply chain, consumer step included, we end up tossing about 40 to 50% of all the food that's produced in the world. And I think that's absolutely terrifying. So this is my sort of little contribution to see if we can throw out a little bit less. So these are 4 different ingredients that usually ends up getting tossed in the trash, and that's just absolutely no good. So enjoy this video. First thing we'll be looking at is kitchen scraps and how you can turn them into a versatile broth. Start by gathering your kitchen scraps like onion peels or carrot peels, leek, spring onion, garlic shells, etc. I keep mine in a jar in my freezer, and once it's full I do this. Pour them into a pot and cover them with water. Simmer the, let's try that again. Let the scraps simmer for 45 minutes or more. The longer they simmer, the stronger the broth will get. When the broth is finished, strain into a jar and set aside to chill before placing in the fridge. The scraps can afterwards be composted. The broth you can keep in the fridge for about a week and it will stay fresh. And it can be used in many different dishes. I used mine to make gravy. Yeah, watch out for this bad boy. Ooh. The flavor. I used the broth to make gravy for a burger recipe from the northern part of Denmark, but I obviously made it vegan. It is a burger with fried onions, pickles, red cabbage and gravy on top. I am almost embarrassed to admit how much I actually love this. For the next recipe, we'll be using chickpeas, or more precisely the water from chickpeas. Instead of draining the chickpeas, you can use the water to make aquafaba. So we'll save the actual chickpeas for some other time and focus on this liquid. First step is to separate the two, so strain the chickpeas into a bowl, or actually a pot is better. Let the liquid simmer on medium heat constantly for about 10 minutes to keep it on a low simmer. Pour the liquid back into the bowl and let it cool down to something more like room temperature before moving forward. Now you'll need sugar, and quite a lot as well. 2.5 deciliters of sugar to the liquid from 1 can of chickpeas. Get that last bit there as well. Yeah, nothing is wasted. Time to whisk. Whiskey times. Whiskey bamboozles. I don't know what this phase is. Whisk the liquid and sugar together for at least 10 minutes. The aquafaba will slowly stiffen, and the cool thing about vegan meringue is that you cannot whisk it too much and ruin it. I mean, look at this. And I can promise you, it tastes nothing like chickpeas. Once you're done whisking, you can use this meringue on top of cakes, ice cream, whatever you want, but today we're going to make small decorations for a cake. So here I am taking my reusable piping bag, and we're going to fill it halfway up. Any more and it will come out the top, I feel like. Oh, look at this texture. Oh, I'm there for it. Now I'm going to be making small droplets with my piping bag on a silicone baking mat, because we're going to bake them. It took some time to get this technique down. I'm not really good at this. I don't do this often, as you perhaps can tell, but I'm quite pleased with the result. Now bake them in the oven for 45 to 60 minutes at 80 degrees Celsius. Afterwards, they'll be perfectly crunchy and sweet and ideal for cake toppings. And think we've been pouring this gold down the drain. Do you want to know how I made the cake? This recipe also involves some anti-food waste realness, and it all starts with homemade oat milk. I have another video about this as well, so check out that video for more details. But the bottom line is, take 1 part oats to 3 parts of ice cold water, then blend for no longer than 15 to 20 seconds. Afterwards, strain the milk into 2 parts, the oat milk and the leftover pulp. We'll be using both today. Never throw out the pulp from homemade plant milks. It is literal gold. Now let's make the cake. You'll need 250 grams of flour, 150 grams of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and about 30 grams of cocoa powder. For the wet ingredients, you'll need to melt about 200 grams of vegan butter with about 100 grams of dark chocolate. Add to that bowl 200 milliliters of your oat milk, the oat pulp from before, and vanilla extract. I also added some lemon zest just for sass. Now mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Then pour into a well-oiled baking tray and bake for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. And there you have it, a cake that not only tastes delicious but also saved some amazing oat pulp from going to the bin. Lastly, let's see what we can do with these spinach stems. Of course, you can simply eat them with the leaves if possible. This is just another option. Start by cutting off the bottom of the stems, which is really no good. They can be composted. Cut the stem into small pieces along with onion, leek, garlic, ginger and spring onion, because we're making stir fry. And I like my veggies super finely chopped, just like this. Start by adding the onions, garlic and ginger to a heated pan along with some oil and soy sauce. Add your spinach stems as well, as much as you like. You can of course put anything you want in your stir fry. This is simply what I had on hand, and this is a great recipe where you can use all your leftovers. I'm also going to be adding some sesame seeds and a bit more soy sauce. When everything is nicely browned and stirred together, you can add the rest of your veggies. Here is my leek and spring onion. Time for some flavor! I love curry and you can add it to anything you want. Last step is adding cooked rice and peas as well. And you're done! This is super tasty and an easy way to use those leftovers you would otherwise have tossed or forgotten about. I can definitely recommend adding spinach stems to dishes like this instead of throwing them away. They're great fillers and they also add great texture. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked it. If you have any ideas for part 3 of this video, if you have any ingredients, zero waste, food waste, hacks, leave them down below. I would love to check them out, and I am already working on a part 3. So I hope that you like this one and I hope you will continue to watch them. You can of course find all the recipes down below. I've left them as blog posts as well, so you don't have to listen to this video if you want to recreate some of this food. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Take really good care of yourselves. Until next time. Bye! Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!